And welcome back, everybody. I'm Fox with FoxeoGames. This is Skyrim Special Edition, Viking Masculinity, where we talk about masculinity, the red pill, the manosphere, dating, relationships, self-improvement, and achieving your all. Living your best man life ever. So, the ruined book will not help us get there, guys. When last we left off, we were right here, where we're standing right now, doing exactly what we're doing, wondering what's going on. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, like the video, do all that stuff. You can leave your comments down below, hit the notification bell icon, follow me on social media, links are in the description. And with that, I think it's time for a little milk foaming. We're going to foam up this half and half we got going here. And I'm going to pour into that some dark black espresso coffee while foaming. So here we go, guys. I can't do it next to the microphone. I just don't have enough hands for all that. As part of the agreement to get my voice back, I agreed to give up 2 of my arms in an alternate version of The Little Mermaid. Here we go. There we go. We're foaming it up, guys. Okay. And with that, get the milk foam off the end of that. And it's usually a little foamy on top. It's not an espresso machine. It's just my way of sort of making a lazy at-home cafe latte. And with that, I just remembered I forgot to take my allergy meds. So, hacking, coughing, sneezing, clearing up the throat may be in my future here. You know what? Why are these guys dead right here, but not fully looted? I hope I'm not going backwards. Let's save it. See if I'm going in the right direction here. No. What? Well, let's just go this way. I'm already going this way. Oh, here we go. Nice try, buddy. But the stagger effect of my firebolt will mostly prevent you from hitting me, except for that one time. It's amazing how much stuff we can equip, or I mean carry here, and still not be over our limit. Although we're probably going to hit it real soon. I think I had to dump some items earlier. So I watched a video on estrogenic substances, chemicals, and all that. And although I think to a certain degree people go overboard with that, it is worth looking into. If you have low testosterone, or in particular high estrogen, I think it's worth looking into. Oh, this is where we get the key for back in there. That's awesome. It's worth looking into what estrogenic compounds you're exposing yourself to. Essentially, an estrogenic is a chemical, a food, any sort of product that mimics estrogen or causes your body to produce more estrogen. And they say that these can be found in shampoos, soaps, fragrances, colognes. Ooh, chain lightning. They can also be found in plastics and other materials, in face care products, sunscreen, lotions, moisturizers, all those things. You want to look at all those and see what you got in there. And let's take a drink of this homemade cafe latte. That is not bad, but not nearly as good as the real thing. It'll have to do. We'll put a little more coffee in that. Normally I just do coffee black for these episodes. It's easier and cleaner. And if I were to somehow spill it on anything here at my computer, it's a lot easier to clean up because there's no stickiness and all that nastiness. There's a little stickiness from milk, obviously. There's lactose in it, which is a type of sugar. It's a milk sugar. And lactose is what most people struggle with if they have milk problems. Although there is such a thing as milk allergy that's different from lactose and much, much more dangerous. Milk allergy can really tear you up. Lactose just basically gives you the runs and gas and bloating and all sorts of other GI distress. So guys, if you get your diet in order, you should also be looking at eating foods that will increase testosterone and reduce estrogen if you're too high in estrogen. The goal should not always be to reduce estrogen. Don't think that your goal is just to get it as low as possible. If your estrogen is too low, you'll have some negative effects from it, including low sex drive. Believe it or not. But if your estrogen is too high, that can also cause low sex drive. Correct me if I'm wrong about any of this, guys. It's been a while since I've looked into it. But it can also cause you to look kind of weak and soft. It can literally make your body retain water and cells, making you a bit puffy and looking a bit fatter. You will more easily gain fat, gain weight.
Gavros, is that you? I'd almost given up hope. Let me get the door.
Yes, please, open it for me, since I'd be stuck otherwise.
What are you doing here? What have you done with Gavros? It was the Falmer. If Gavros and you, if you're here, it didn't work. Well, I was right. What Gavros had to cart it all. It was a brilliant.
We're going to skip most of this dialogue. So look into estrogenic compounds. You know, stuff like BPA, but there's also something else. I think, what is it called? BPS or something that took the place of it. Almost just as bad. Look into the effect of soy, and you'll want to avoid unfermented soy products. Flaxseed. You probably want to avoid flaxseed. That's also known to be estrogenic. If you do go for testosterone replacement therapy, you will want to have them regularly check your levels, both your testosterone level and your estrogen level. Uh-oh. Can I not pick those up? There we go. Man, he is talking a lot, isn't he? Let's go through these sides. I'm glad I stopped where I did, because obviously this goes on and on. Another thing to think about, in addition to the estrogenic compounds in shampoo, body soap, lotion, moisturizer, sunscreen, all that stuff, your cologne, your aftershave, your shaving cream. The goal is obviously to use more natural stuff. You know, instead of a lot of the other things that you use to moisturize your face, you could use rose water and glycerin, vegetable glycerin. It is more natural. It's less likely that it's going to cause any sort of harm. And instead of your standard, you know, $3, $4 chemically laden shampoo from the store, you could try looking up some of the alternate, more natural sources. I can't say how 100% natural it is, but I've been using stuff from Dr. Squatch. If you guys know of anything bad about it, certainly share that. I'm not here to sponsor them. I'm not their sponsor. I haven't done extensive research into it, but it's just something I did kind of quickly as I just did some preliminary research into getting more natural products. The body soap I use, I want to look into more before I recommend it. Although it's a pretty good price. It's more expensive than your standard body soap, but it smells great. It has stuff in it for like exfoliation and all that jazz. And you know what? Isn't this like the last in the quest line? But I might have to come back here. Oh, yeah, you need these. I think you need those 2 spells, so that's why they leave the books here for you. Okay, let's do it. Place the crystal in the center of. In addition to estrogenics, look at the kind of media that you, your girl, your family consume. Note that most anything that comes out of Hollywood is going to be pretty much garbage for the most part. I can't say 100%. Where's this? Where do I place this crystal? Oh, right there. Focus the oculary. You
want something from me? Now the crystal, heating and you'll need to use. There should be a few basic tomes around here somewhere in case your training is even more substandard than I've heard.
Alright, I'm going to keep hitting these until stuff lines up. Oh, that got close, but not quite. Yeah, if I remember correctly, this is like way out of whack or something. Whatever. How do I move that? Alright, let's see which books I got. I got Flames and Frostbite. Okay. Let's do Flames, and then we'll put Frostbite in the other hand. I thought if you hit it somewhere, it'll move stuff. No? There we go. Nope. Okay, there we go. That looks like it might work. Oh shit, did I get it in one shot? No, of course not. So, which one is that? Damn, which one is that? Okay, that one's all set. When it's all set, it stops. That's awesome. Makes it easy mode, you know? Oh, it's going to take a while to get that one over. So let's knock that one out too. Oh, got that one already. Just this one left. Alrighty. I thought we had to use fire at some point, but we'll see.
Results, they're not at all what they should be. This projection should be lit up like the night sky. Something is creating an incredible amount of interference.
Interference.
Something in Winterhold, it looks like. What are you playing at? Is this some attempt to stall my work?
No, buddy. I'm not attempting to stall your work.
Did you? Well, explain yourself. Go wrong? Everything is wrong. How did you do it? But it must be you have something.
It's the Eye of Magnus. Say it.
Well, that's interesting. Yes, the staff. Interesting. I can't.
Let's go find it.
That would be giving away many secrets the Synod have learned over the years. Also, I doubt you'd be able to comprehend the details. Have you seen the orrery in the Imperial City? It was the inspiration for this idea. Instead of projecting the sky, we project all of Tamriel, and then harness the latent energies to overlay the positions of... What's important is that all of this work was designed to reveal to us sources of great magical power.
Oh, great magical power. That's good. I want great magical power.
And yet, in the end, only 2 locations have been revealed to us. One is your college.
So let's talk about the topic I just mentioned. You don't have to cut out media from your life. I think a lot of people say, you know, cut all the media out. I think as a general rule, yes, cut out a lot of the media, cut out the garbage. And there are a lot of garbage shows and garbage movies. Garbage shows that push garbage leftist agendas, garbage shows that push Marxist agendas, that push the LGBTQIA++ agenda, which is not... The agenda has nothing to do with what somebody identifies as sexually. The agenda is a political movement, you know? It's kind of like the Black Lives Matter movement. That has nothing to do with just black people. A black person can believe or be part of any movement they want. They don't have to have any affiliation with Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is an extremely radical, black supremacist, violent, domestic terrorist group pushing an extreme left-wing agenda. If you go to their website, you'll see they talk about Marxism, communism, patriarchy, heteronormative. It's just an angle for pushing left-wing agenda. So the secret is, number one, most important part, recognize the agenda in the media. When you recognize the agenda in the media, then you see it and it doesn't have quite the same effect on you. For example, I used to watch the show Roseanne back in the day. At that time, I didn't know it, but that show took on an agenda later in its life. Roseanne, the actress, I think her real name is Roseanne, right? The actress, you know, who kind of was the star of the show, she, for some reason, decided to push hard on this, what I call the gay agenda. She started introducing a gay character, which, you know, whatever, it's a gay character, who cares? But the character's sort of put in there, they make a big deal out of the fact that he's gay. Then they take one of her friends, who is straight, always has been, and just like convert her over to gay, and then make it kind of funny. Then at the end of the episode, at the end of the show, they take her mom and just convert her to gay, even though there's been no indication of this the entire series. One of the ways you can tell that something is sort of ham-fisted, forced in, is when it doesn't seem natural, it just doesn't fit, or they take a character and just convert the character over.
It is imperative that you return to your college at once.
And then the conversion, or the status of the character being X, Y, or Z, whether it's Muslim, gay, bisexual, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter, has really nothing to do with the storyline at all. It doesn't impact the story in any meaningful way. It doesn't add any meaning to it. It doesn't link to anything that's happened previously. It just seems to be this one-off, out there, side angle, side thing. It doesn't even count as a side story. Just sort of like, boom, there it is. This character that has always been straight is actually gay. Yay, clap. Clap for gayness. That's the Hollywood agenda. So, let me see. Report to Savos Aran, which he's at the College of Winterhold. Yes. And again, like I said, has nothing to do, like if you consider yourself gay, that has nothing to do with the LGBTQIA++ agenda. That's a political movement, not an identity movement. It's not even a sexuality movement. It's a political movement pushing far left agenda. The reason it's so effective is they push the agenda under the guise of tolerance. Kind of like BLM, Black Lives Matter, pushing this far left Marxist agenda under the guise of anti-racism. Because obviously, you gotta be anti-racist. We're all anti-racist, right? Like, you're not a racist, are you? Of course not. Then the only way to prove how not racist you are is to join this movement. And this movement is all about anti-racism. Well, anti-racism is part of the movement, but riding on that, coming in with it, like a Trojan horse, is the extreme radical left-wing Marxist agenda. And you can see it on their website. It's no secret. They make no effort whatsoever to hide it. One of the co-founders, she openly says, we are trained Marxists. We're going to have a Marxist revolution in this country. I would say at least 95, if not like 99% of everyone who espouses support for Black Lives Matter is utterly clueless to the Marxist communist background of the movement. And that's critical because what you're seeing... Oh, shoot. You know what? Let's get rid of stuff by weight here. I want to sell the heaviest stuff. Dang, I can't sell much of anything to this guy, can I? Whatever, yes, sell it. So, agendas come in the form of Trojan horses. It's important to know it, to be aware of it, to be able to spot it, and to call it out. To be like, hey guys, take a look. This agenda is actually not about anti-racism. It's not about doing anything for black people. It's not about justice. It's not about police reform. It's ultimately really about pushing the left-wing agenda, bringing in Marxism, forcibly redistributing wealth from people who worked for it to people who didn't. All these things that I strongly believe are the antithesis of masculinity. Masculine men do not believe that they should work really hard so that someone else can take all their money, and give it to someone who didn't work. A lot of people say, well, it's a Christian value to charity and whatever they say. But the Apostle Paul said, I believe it was in, what book was it in? Thessalonians? He said, he who does not work, let him not eat. And I tell everyone that. He who does not work shall not eat. If someone's refusing to contribute to the community, refusing to do work, don't feed them. Don't give them food. Then the question comes up. What happens to a person who doesn't get food? Seriously, what happens? Think about it. Yes, so Apostle Paul is literally saying, if they're not going to work, let them die. People object to that because in their mind it's very anti-Christian. They don't think of that as a Christian concept. But then again, they've been led to believe that what is Christian is the heavily, heavily feminized church. Here we go. Whoa, level up. Yes, the church has been taken over by feminism. It's been feminized. It has become very weak. The church represents feminine values, feminine ideals, even really feminine values gone wrong. Feminine usurpation. We used to sing songs about... I remember in church, people used to sing songs about God being a strong bulwark and a sword to strike down his enemies. And now, every single song at church by a worship band is all about love, happiness, love everybody, all happiness and love. I'm like, when did the Christian church become just a replay of the hippie movement of the 60s? Jesus loved everybody. He never went into the temple with a whip and drove everyone out and started whipping people and telling them that they're going to hell. He never did that. That didn't really happen. Jesus just told everyone, I love you no matter what. Unconditional love for everybody. Yay. Let's all hold hands and sing Kumbaya. That's the modern church, unfortunately. All right, guys, what do we got here? Oh, we need more. Okay, let's see. So close. We just need 1 point into alchemy. Excuse me, guys. Okay, so did she get that gold I gave her? Hell yes, she did. Time to sell. All right. There we go. Now I need to find an alchemy trainer. There's bound to be one somewhere in here, but shoot, I don't know. Oh, Tolfdir's Alembic. It's funny because I already got that Alembic and gave it to him, but I guess we can do it all over again.
They say knowledge is its own reward.
Ooh, let's use alchemy. Maybe we can level up. Probably not, but maybe. Let's see. Probably not. Maybe. We'll see. We got a few more here. We did! Wow, that was really close too. It's probably within 2 or 3 potions of an actual level there. Let's do this. And go into alchemy. And... Oh. Eating an ingredient reveals first 2 effects. Eating an ingredient reveals first 3 effects. Oh, okay. Whatever. We got that. And now... Let me see, how much gold do I have versus... You have insufficient gold to train. Oh, I looked at that gold backwards. Okay, I see. Fine. So, guys, be aware of the hidden agenda in media. You'll notice that despite the fact that the LGBTQIA++, Q, G, G, Z, XYZ community... Despite being a very, 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 very small minority of people in the world, you'll notice that Hollywood media overrepresents them by large, large numbers. I'm talking like in terms of their total population in, say, the US versus their representation in movies and TV shows. I would say they're overrepresented by probably about 20 to 30 times. So that's a good question to ask, is why is there such a massive overrepresentation of this really, really tiny part of society? And roughly half the country or so identifies as either conservative or moderate-leaning conservative or Republican. And yet the representation of these individuals in media is extremely low. And often when a person is obviously represented as conservative or Republican, it's in a negative light. Same thing with abortion. You'll find that media often represents pro-abortion or pro-choice people as good, pro-lifers or anti-abortion people as bad. Am I supposed to join in here? I've joined too. It felt cool. I helped. You just have to blast it with ice. Let's save before everything blows up and I die. Oh yeah, this guy, you can't trust him. Uh-oh, the Archmage gonna get his ass whooped.
Can you walk? I need you on your feet. We're in trouble. Unconnell. I need you to find the Archmage. I'll be fine. I just need a minute to catch my breath. Find Savos.
There's a lot of shit going on over there. Let's do it. Let's go find the Archmage. Follow the arrows. Or the yellow brick road. It depends on where you're trying to get to. So I know, a lot of you guys are probably like, look, dude, I don't share your political views. I totally get that. Let's see. Is he dead? Hey, can I give you the Alembic? I found your Alembic, bro. I know it's not, like, critical right now, but... Come here, come here, come here, come here. Get back here! Whatever. Okay, so where are we going now? Wait, hang on now. Is this just like an interruption from with a... Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We can just have a dragon show up. I mean, I'm kind of busy right now, but I can handle it. It's a welcome distraction and interruption. Come on, you lizard brain. Get down here. I got something for you. Oh, I got something for you, buddy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? Let me do this. Do I have a fortified destruction? Yes. And then I'm going to do resist fire. Dang it. As soon as I did my fortified destruction, he takes off. I can see in the corner there, if it's still active. Whoa! They're helping out, aren't they? Let's do a little bit of magicka. Plentiful magicka. That wasn't much. There we go. He didn't stand a chance. 280 gold. That's all we get for that? Come on. They should have put a 0 on that. 2,280 gold. Or no, wait. 2,800 gold. I can do math. I keep forgetting about my unrelenting force shout. Alright, so where is Sabos Aaron? Do we not have a... We don't have a quest marker on here, do we? Oh, it's right there. Okay. We're not going to fast travel. We're just going to run it. He should be right here.
What's going on? What happened? It made... Let's get down there. We have to... What's going on? What happened?
Okay. Can you stop now? I got to get around here before she bothers me again. So, I grew up in a predominantly Democrat area. I was raised by staunch Democrats. My family, nearly everyone in my family, everyone I know of in my family is staunch, die-hard Democrat. I'm talking like they believe every negative thing said about a Republican. They believe that every Democrat president has been, virtually perfect. They believe all the oh, look at this. They believe all of the propaganda put out by the Democrat Party. They think everything good about Republicans is a lie or a trick. They literally think that the news media is like all pro-Republican because they'll ever say anything negative about a Democrat. So, they got everything pretty much backwards. You know what? I can't hit these guys that easily with what I have, so let's do this. And then let's do flames. This will hit more at once, I think. Or I got an idea. Here we go. Okay, that just takes way too much magic. I'm sitting here waiting for all my magic to come back. And let's heal up. Let's do a little restore health. And a little resist frost, shall we? There's one more somewhere. Oh, there we go. Where's Mirabelle? Probably up here. So, I grew up Democrat. I mean, for most of my childhood, that just seemed normal to me. I was raised to believe that Republicans were evil and Democrats were good, and Republicans were horrible and bad, and Democrats were great and wonderful. And, you know, as I got older, I shifted away from that. It wasn't that I was, like, trying to rebel against my parents or anything. I never really went through, like, a major rebellion stage. But I did slowly realize, after meeting a few friends that talked to me differently, like one family I knew talked the exact opposite way, like Democrats were evil and horrible, and the Republicans were wonderful and great, and just, you know, the Republicans came straight from Jesus, you know, and the Democrats were straight from hell. Now, granted, that was back when the Republicans and Democrats weren't that far apart from each other. Like today, even, you could say they're not that far apart, but for the most part, they had very similar views. Like when Bill Clinton gave his immigration speech back in, like, what was it, 1997 or whatever, virtually everyone stood up and applauded. Republican, Democrat, Independent, everyone was on the same page about this stuff. Nowadays, you'll notice that there's this massive difference on a lot of different issues. So the Democrats have gone really, really far to the left. The Republicans have moved a little farther left, but because of how far left the Democrats have moved, they think the Republicans are more, quote, right-wing than they used to be. That's bullshit. That's provably, objectively wrong. You can show how the Democrats have moved continuously leftward on nearly all issues. I'm sorry, I meant the Republicans have moved leftward on nearly all issues, while the Democrats have moved radically leftward. I'm talking in the span of 10 to 15 years, the Democrats have moved from a more moderate position all the way to the extreme left wing. I mean, they've moved from, we need border control, we need more border agents, we need more deportations, we need to put up a wall and fences and borders, and we need more control. They went from that in 1997, even into the early 2000s, to just a few years ago, just 7 years ago, they went to amnesty for all, no borders, completely borderless. We hate citizens, we love illegals. You know, I mean, I'm exaggerating that, but really. Extreme flip. Almost all the way to the other side. So what are we doing now? Killing more of these magic anomalies? They're a little tough, aren't they? He's a tough guy. As long as he gets stuck right there, that works for me. You know what? If he's not going to move a whole lot, let's do this. Oh, that did so much more damage than the fire that I was using. Alright, let's see where we're supposed to go. Also, you know, let's see. I gotta stress, and I just... Hang on. There we are. Enter Labyrinthian. Okay, let's go from Stonehills. I guess that's the closest place. And I cannot stress it enough, guys. It's becoming more and more difficult by the year, even sometimes by the day at this point. It is becoming more and more difficult to maintain any sense of masculinity and push hard for leftist values or Democrat values at this point. The Democrats used to be a reasonable party. I didn't agree with them as I got older, but they were a reasonable party. I didn't think they were just this horrible anti-American, anti-law and order, you know, anti-common sense party that they've become. They were actually quite reasonable for the longest time. You know what? Let me go sell a bunch of crap first before I end up going into something and having full bags of stuff. Now, I mean, they've just gone so extreme. They talk about, like, oh, you need, they're saying that Biden has to have a woman as vice president. Gender's now a requirement, which is it's ridiculous to make gender requirement. Oh, it has to be a woman of color, because white's not a color, apparently. I don't know. See, it would be a color to me. I think, you know, if you look at the box of crayons, white's in there as a color, so that's proof, right? But now they've gone so extreme of, let's lift up the weak and make the weak run things in a weak way and be weak. And Unfortunately, they believe in even stacking our military with weak, shitty people that don't know how to fight. That's the most important thing to them is diversity. Diversity is more important than people being able to fight and defend the country. They are so obsessed with this diversity. Oh shit, did I sell the gyro? Damn, did I sell the gyro? Let me do this. Let me just reload where we were, just in case I did sell that gyro. You see this? I'm not moving. I'm not touching anything. Why is the last autosave not right here? Fuck it. There's 1,000 gyros. Let's sell by weight. Yeah, it looks like I accidentally sold the gyro. Dang it. Oh well. It happens, right?
Alright then.
Yeah, I just don't... I gotta stress, guys. You have to move away from the quote, the liberal, and I use that in the sense of like the modern political sense in the United States. The left, the extreme left, the left-wing crap. You gotta get away from that, because at this point it's just all about weakness and taking the weak and putting the weak in charge to make us all weaker. It's essentially a very estrogenic political movement. I think every time you vote Democrat, like your estrogen goes up. I'm not saying there's no case where you could ever vote for a Democrat. I'm not saying that at all. I've done it myself, but it's just a very weak party now, socially and otherwise.
Good doing business with you.
And their values are weak. You know, like I said before, when you go into the gym and you see really buff dudes, like guys that are in shape, they don't have to be huge, but they're fit, they're trim, whatnot. Most of those guys lean conservative. They're at least moderate. They're not hard liberal or hard left, and there's a reason why. Because they learn through personal experience that the only way to achieve that with their body is through hard, disciplined work by themselves. No one else can do it for them. They can't pay anyone enough money to get them in shape. It's not possible. And so once you realize that, you'll go, you know what? This is how the world should be. People should have to work for what, you know, and earn what they get. And we shouldn't be here like just giving stuff away for free to everybody. This isn't about sitting on your butt and collecting a check from the government and coming up with excuses why you, quote, can't work, unquote. So part of the masculinity thing is you're going to have to look at it and evaluate. I mean, are your politics masculine? That's a good question. It's a real question, too. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I could feel it. I could feel it. There we go. You know what? She probably trains in alchemy, right? I'm a little low on gold at the moment. That's fine. Let's sell some shit. Poison. Oh, yep. Okay. Well, I guess I could have kept that one, but whatever. I sold it. Screw it. All right. I think everything else we want, right? There we go. Actually, did I get enough gold for another training session? Probably not. No, of course not. Not even close. So, there are some things you have to give up when you become more masculine. Some certain ways of dressing. Some certain ways of talking. You might have to kind of modify your hobbies a little bit. I'm not saying you can't do ballet as a masculine man. I'm just saying it's really difficult. It is really difficult. You're fighting a serious uphill battle. Unless you are an exceptionally masculine looking man and a masculine man in every other aspect of your life, you know, even then it would be difficult to try to be like the ballet guy, you know. It's not recommended, but you can pull it off. It's possible. It's just I wouldn't try it early on, you know. Early on in your quest to become more masculine, it's not going to help any. That's for sure. And so one of those things is also your political views. I can tell you right now, women won't say this, but women find conservative men more attractive. They lie and claim they don't. They'll put in their bio, no Republicans or no Trump supporters. But the honest truth is, most of the guys that are getting these lays, so to speak, most of the guys that are getting these chicks for the night or getting with these chicks, I bet you a ton of them support Trump. And they just probably don't openly tell her right off the bat. But, you know, as a guy, when you look at something and it says, no Trump supporters, because that's how she probably wrote it when she put it in there, you just got to be like, you know what? That is her not even knowing what she wants. Because so many women would literally argue, I would never date a conservative. It's a thief. Literally. You got to remember, women don't know what they want half the time. Women will put all this crap in their dating bio or tell you up front, like, okay, well, let me just tell you something. I don't sleep with conservative guys. I don't sleep with guys who vote for Trump. I don't sleep with racists. I don't sleep with blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right. The last 5 guys she slept with are probably all of those things, except for racist. I guarantee you she slept with plenty of the guys she says she doesn't sleep with. You got to be able to see through that crap. And one of the things you got to see through is women not knowing what they want. I've had women be surprised, like when they find out I'm very conservative. It's like, you're conservative? It doesn't end the relationship. It didn't end my interactions with them. What would end the interactions is if I just gave up. Like a lot of guys will just shut up and be quiet and be like, oh, well, you know, so I think there's there's like some good Republicans out there. Well, you know, no, don't do that. Don't be weak about it. Stay strong, brother. If she's like, well, I can't date a Republican, I'm like, well, that's what I am. If you're a Republican, I don't identify as a Republican. I identify as conservative because there's quite a few Republicans that are not at all conservative. I've had to not vote for Republican candidates on many an occasion. Talking about local politics, federal politics, state politics, all that jazz. No, just the R at the end of someone's name does not make them conservative, okay? The D at the end of someone's name doesn't have to make them leftist or liberal, but it typically does because just the Democrat Party's at this point now where if you don't share most of their values, they kind of phase you, they push you out. You get pushed out.
Let's not waste any more time. Are we truly sure this is a good idea?
Oh.
Before anyone even knows we're gone.
You would care about that, since
The Archmage is dead.
Don't forget, this whole idea was ours to begin with.
Let's just get inside. See what's in there.
All right. You know, sometimes I just wish RPGs wouldn't have voices anymore. Voice work, speech. Because, you know, bad voice work, bad voice acting is really bad. Really pulls you out. And hearing the same voice actors voicing different characters really pulls you out of the story as well. Especially when they try to like disguise their voice a little bit, but they do a shitty job at it. I think I got all those. They don't really have enough gold to worry that much about, right? But it's something, you know. Detect life. I realize as I play this longer, I'm going to have to expand my skill sets beyond just basically alchemy and destruction, which is pretty much what I'm doing right now. I need to let some little weak enemy hit me repeatedly over and over and over again. I remember in Oblivion, I'd find that basement in some building somewhere, and it was in a town where there's a bunch of rats. I'd set the difficulty level to the lowest setting, and then just let the rats attack me endlessly. And that boosted your armor skill, whatever armor you were wearing, whether it's light or heavy. I think they just had light and heavy. I don't think they had medium armor. Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember. And then I'd also just hold the block button. And at one point, I found some way to hold the block button down. I forgot what it was. I think I made the block button a key and put something on the key to hold it down, or whatever it was. You just sit there. You just leave. You can get up and walk away, and your skills are just going through the roof. Because unfortunately, the way they set this game up, it is really hard to improve your armor or block skills unless you're doing it very intentionally. Like, you have to make it a very intentional effort. You have to sit there, especially early on, and just let an enemy hit you to let things go up, and that's sort of a bummer. They need to balance it out better. Like, some skills are so easy to raise, while others are so difficult. Now, I know there's probably a switch here, like, right out in the open in front of me that I'm not seeing. I'm surprised there's no... Does this game not have a telekinesis spell? Where you can unlock certain areas only if you have the magic spell needed for it? Well, I'm going to go through here and I won't be able to turn around. Whoa, what the hell is that? It just jumped. Okay, so let's do this. Let's resist fire in anticipation of them using that. Let's fortify my destruction. Let's regenerate health. Okay, let's restore magic. I want to get rid of all these guys so I'm not just being pelted by these little dudes. Wait, what? The dragon's dead? When did he die? I was getting all ready for this big battle with the dragon. He's dead already. Shit, I didn't mean to grab everything on him. I don't even remember where all these skeletons are at this point. They're gonna blend in. It doesn't matter. They don't have that much stuff of value on them, really. There's pieces everywhere. Body parts went flying. Okay. I almost thought that was going to be the end of this whole area. Quick save. For good measure. Always want a quick save. Keep that quick save rolling. There are bones that count as skeleton bones that you can search, and then there are bones that don't count as skeleton bones you can search. That's not fair. So you have to modify some things in your life to look more masculine. And like I said, the more masculine you are, the more you can get away with. And of course, when it comes to whatever it is you're doing, you have to be confident in it. Confidence is masculine. Confidence is inherently masculine. It always looks weak to lack confidence. So if somebody makes fun of you for some hobby, like I've been mocked at times for playing video games or whatever. Being interested in cosplay photos and stuff on the internet. Excuse me. I own it. I own it 100%. No shame, no embarrassment, no attempt to hide it.
We have to go back. We can't leave Gordon.
The secret is own it. People really, they can't make fun of you when you own it, take it, make it your own, and go, you know what? Yeah, absolutely, 100% I'm into cosplay. I love it. Then it takes all the oomph. It takes all the power out of the insult. Like if someone's mocking you for playing video games and you're like, well, dude, it's not like I play video games all the time, man. I'm not one of these losers who like plays all day long. I'm not a World of Warcraft 10-hour-a-day player. Now you go on the defensive. That makes you look weak. That makes you look like you lack confidence. Instead, when they make fun of you for it, you're like, hey, I've been playing video games my whole life. You know, video games are like movies or books. There's books for kids. There's books for adults. There are video games for kids. There are video games for adults. You know, in video games, They're a lot more adult hobby than sports. What do you do when you watch sports? You just sit there and watch and drink beer and do nothing, just watch other men do something. And when I play a video game, I'm actually doing something. I'm contributing. I'm controlling. I'm reading. I play games where there's more text. There's more story and narrative in this game than there is in a book. I've read books that didn't have even half the text and narrative and story of the last game I played. No, you get into it. You talk about it. I've even told people, I've had these discussions. I said, you know, I learned a lot of my vocabulary from playing role-playing games. They're deep. They're involved. They have more text and narrative than many novels do. To me, it's like a novel that you participate in. Instead of just taking in, instead of just consuming, you're participating. So now, look, the guy can start disagreeing with me. He can start arguing with me. But I can say, all right, well, that's your opinion. That's fine. I respect that. You don't like it. But I love video games. I always have. I probably always will. And that sort of ends the argument at that point. I mean, what are they going to say at that point? You've owned it. Now, you could say that's defending. But I think as long as you defend in an explanatory way, if that makes sense. It's like you're explaining. And the best way to start that, one way I've done is I've said this. Look, here's how I see it. Here's what it means to me. You're not going, oh, it's no, man, it's not like confidence. As long as you're confident, then it comes off a lot better. It's presentation more than anything. What? What just happened? Okay, well, he didn't last long, did he? We're coming towards the end of this, so we'll see what happens here. Flames. Oh, I get it now. See? Do you see? It's so simple. Fire against ice. Yeah, I don't like that. Every time he does that, it steals my magicka. That's bad. That's bad. Don't steal my magicka. Whoo, look at him go flying. Punk. He couldn't handle it. Woo, this one's a little tougher. Okay, let's get some magic here. You know, I need to boost my alchemy so that my potions do a lot more. Because they ain't doing a whole lot right now. That's, you know, you really, really have to be intentional about raising something like alchemy. It just doesn't happen naturally, you know? The other way you can defend playing video games or whatever it is you do is say, like what I did earlier. Show how it's better than a hobby they have. You're like, okay, well, what do? You sit at home, you watch sports? Do you wear a jersey with some other guy's name on it? I create my own adventures in a video game. I learn from it. I learn vocabulary. I experience a story. It's like reading a novel. Except I'm participating. I'm more active. When you watch those sports games, and that's fine, you want to watch sports, cool. I don't watch sports, but you're just sitting there doing nothing but consuming. I'm doing a hell of a lot more than that when I play a video game. Tell me I'm wrong. Put it on them. The other thing, too, is don't get caught up in some of this nonsense about you always got to be producing. There are guys out there that these amateur wisdom gurus on Twitter. They're always like, you don't want to be a consumer. You want to be a producer, man. Don't just consume. You don't want to consume. You want to make stuff. Okay, yes, but the number one way that you can learn how to write is to read. And reading is consumption. First comes consumption, then comes production. But apparently they get it backwards. They think you should just go straight to producing. Novice conjurer. Apparently it didn't go well for him. He was conjuring and things went a little awry. And he died. Ooh, alchemy lab. Wait, hang on. Before I do that, let me pick up the crap that's around it. Why it requires me click a yes-no prompt just to get out of the alchemy thing, I don't know. It's not that big a deal to back out of it. Alright, let's do a... here we go. Yep. Yep. Whatever that was. Yep. 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 Okay. Boom. Oh yeah, I gotta start eating these ingredients, right? Learning effects from them. I thought, is that not a place to sleep? Yeah, I guess not unless you're a vampire. So, one of the secrets is, don't be ashamed of your hobbies. Don't let people make you ashamed to be yourself. Unless you are genuinely ashamed. I mean, if you don't like where you're going, then that's fine. Change it. If you like where you're going, stick with it. You shouldn't let some douchebag who comes up and starts fussing and arguing and bitching and whining make you change your entire life, unless you look at it objectively and determine that he's right. Like, maybe you just look at it practically. You know what? He's got a point. Okay, that's different, right? Oh, let's go down. Ooh, whoop. Nightshade.
Must I use this guttural language of yours?
He doesn't like this language. That's fine. I don't like his language. I can show you some language, buddy. I'm still getting some physics issues every now and then, especially like when running upstairs or inclines. Boom! The whites are so much stronger. W-I-G-H-T. Oh! Oh, did you see that? Well, you did if you were watching. That hit hard, didn't it? I could feel that hit. And he's down. Okay. What do we got down here in the treasure trove? Not much, actually. Well, whatever it was, I took it. Oh, there's a way down here. Okay, let's go up here first, loot this body. And this thingy. Alright. Good, that's a dead end. Now we don't have to worry about which way to go. Oh, hang on now. Look at that. Silver ring and 10 gold. My gosh, 10? Seriously? Pour a little more coffee here. We're about to call this episode, guys. If you haven't, as I mentioned earlier in the episode, make sure to subscribe. Like the video, comment, hit the notification bell icon, select all, look down in the the description of the video, and you'll see links to my social media pages. Twitter is where I'm most active. Hit me up there. Oops, I did not want to grab that sword. We'll be dropping that soon, I'm sure. And with that, we might go ahead and call it right here, guys. Oh, look at that. There's a door right there. Something cool is going to happen behind that door, I bet. So, what do you think of today's discussion? I know we get political, but you know what? Everything is political nowadays, unfortunately. The left has pushed to make everything political. They've come into video games and pushed their politics in video games, their agenda in video games. They push their agenda at universities. They push their agenda in public schools. They push their agenda in the news. They push their agenda and charities. They push their agenda in churches. They push their agenda in movies and TV shows. They're pushing their agenda everywhere, and it's all political. So, unfortunately, you gotta go with that. That's the world nowadays, whether you like it or not. Hey guys, I'm Fox with FoxeoGames. Let me know what you think. Hit me up on Twitter. DMs are open if you have something private you want to discuss with me. And with that, I will see you later.